Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you gotta get spotted. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun.
Good morning, everybody. It is the 1st of December, and yeah, I screwed up. Oh, man. How are you guys this morning? So, I was planning on running down the futures account that I've been using. Oh wait, we have some news. Let's talk about the news here. Let's look at the news here first. We've got like a bunch of stuff coming through here. Oh, it's just Canadian stuff. Never mind. Nobody cares about Canadian GDP numbers. 0.8 versus a forecast 0.9. Anyways, but let's turn on the Texas speech, by the way. Anyways, so I was planning on running down this current futures trading account. So if you guys recall, we blew an account back in October. And so I decided I will just run down this account and then we will switch over. And basically the mistake that I made was I miscalculated what I would need in there for December. So yeah, I fixed it. I've already fixed it, but today we don't have data because of that boo-boo that we made. So I feel really retarded right now. But that's okay. There's a lot of other things that we can still do today. So, won't have like the rundown of the charts here because I'm not getting data through NinjaTrader. We can still look at stocks is one thing, but, and we can still backtest in NinjaTrader using the historical data that we have in. So that might be one thing that we do. But if you want a gist of like what's been going on, basically yesterday we had a pretty heavy sell, and it appears that was mostly end of month selling after the close happened, and there was a ton of volume on the close. But after that, the markets took off again, and so now we're looking at potentially another open at all-time highs. I would suspect that we'll have a pretty similar action to what we've had the past 2 or 3 weeks, where we open really high, they sell it initially, and then sometime, usually after the stream ends, they start buying the markets back up. So that's kind of where we're at. So we have a couple of options. I was thinking like, oh, well, let's just go and get a demo for the day. But I think I've exhausted pretty much every demo data opportunity out there. So I don't know if that's going to work. And it is one day. And there's a couple of things that, I've kind of been putting off that maybe we could do while we're on stream. I don't know. But it's up to you guys. We don't have to start working right away. Can just kind of wait and see what you guys think. So let's see here. We'll turn on the text-to-speech. We'll, you know what? Let's do something else here. I want to. A little bit of whipsawing in the cat, apparently. In the Canadian dollar. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Where is it? There it is. Ah, there we go. Okay, so let me pull up my notes here. What do we got? So I have a couple of setups that I wanted to backtest here. So I think at some point today we should do a walkthrough of the indicators, because I wrote some documentation about this. So we can read through that and see how good it is. And I can like walk you guys through it here, like a dry run of what I want to make as a video. And there's also our scalping guide that I started writing that we could work on. And there's some setups that we want to backtest. I think some of those things that we do those, we should do them a little bit later. So in the meantime, how about we pull up some NinjaScript here. There we go. And let's make a new category of strategies. What should we call them? New folder. Management. Let's do it like that. Daily goals. I'll make the text really big so you guys can see it, right? So I have some of these. Let's use, what should we use? What was something that backtested well? Well, we could use, let's pull it up. For some reason, it didn't show the other more recent ones. Oh, yes, it did. Okay, there we go. So I was able to get Bollinger Strat to work okay. Fade, use targets. I think I have some that have a higher sharp ratio than that, though. Oh, yes, that's right. Well, that one didn't. This one is so funny. Will it show it? If I click on it here, will it let us see it? Oh, no, wait, that's not the right one. It's this one right here. Here we go. Profit factor 1.13, sharp ratio of 1. And I'm not exactly sure how I get a sharp ratio of 1 on this, but it's equal risk reward. And slightly positive win rate. It's kind of weird. Ooh, what am I doing on this one? Don't even remember. Well, I mean, I know that we had, let's see here, which one is it? Spread cross? Oh, really? It's that's it, huh? See, okay, that's right. I had some other things on it, like cumulative delta and so forth, to try and improve the results, and it didn't help. It was like no matter what I added onto it, it was like that area, 53% win rate, and any other kind of filter didn't increase the win rate. It just improved the it just decreased the total number of trades.
Says, "Hey man."
Hey, how are you? That's a new name, so welcome to the stream. I wish today we're kind of have a forced off day, so we're going to do some programming here. I shouldn't have clicked on that, because now I'm sitting here and I'm thinking like, "Oh, let's work on this strategy. What can we do with it?" Well, it expects, maybe this would be a good test subject. Maybe it would be a good test subject. So let's just see here if I run this. Let's like pull up a timer or something. Hopefully we don't get any skipped frames or anything. So just run that and see what we get. Man,
Frank Milano says, "Hello all. First time here."
Lots of people coming in on a first day on a probably not the best day to come in. So I just want to reiterate, to be honest with you guys here. So we have been running, we were planning on like holding off our like saving our capital for futures trading until next year. And so I was winding down that account, and I was thinking about moving brokers, and I miscalculated how much I needed in that account. So I fixed it. And
Steve
I'm probably
Wright says,
going to...
sometimes I'll set the CPU affinity so it doesn't use all cores. If you're multitasking.
Yeah, well, we'll see if it... we'll see if it skips any frames on us. It hasn't done so yet. I think OBS has its CPU priority set to high, and it only uses 21%. But I also think that on this one, it the barrier is not CPU. See, so it'll use most of the CPU, but the issue is the tick replay. It's just slow. We'll put the CPU on there. Oh, look, it ran. Okay, so that only took 2 minutes. So I think we could work with this. I think we could work with this. So I'm thinking that we should use, what do you think? So this is like a mean reversion strategy. So we could try ADX and we could try ATR and see if those affect the win rate of it. Will this show us Yes, it will. Okay, cool. Oh, and it shows us on a daily time frame. So one thing I wonder is, it was like this week. Not sure what the deal is. Oh wait, actually we can go like change the period. Oh, okay, cool. So it was the 1st of October to the 14th of October when it did poorly. And then these days.
Ajinkia Pawar says was watching your trading computer hardware video. Well done, man. No one on YouTube has any trading build guides for traders. Thanks, man.
Oh yeah, totally. Thank you very much. You know, that video was done so well, and I expected it to do well because, you know, all of the computer stuff, that's kind of one of the things that I think I'm really good at that other traders aren't as familiar with. But I did not expect it to be that popular. It gets like 500 views a day or something. Like, it's insane. We're going to have to make more videos along those lines. I think that, though, that what we're going to have to do is like make videos building like super machines and stuff. So I found on this machine, I increased my RAM from 16 gigabytes to 32 gigabytes, and that significantly increased the number of the data sets that I could potentially use. So let's pull up TradingView here. Cyber Monday. It's up to 60% off, guys. So I think that I want to go on a 1 day. And get rid of that. Okay. So we're looking at October here. It was really this first bit of October. Oh, now that is not what I expected. 9, and then when did we start digging out?
Vlad Stolyarov says 172.85 plus 20.11, 13.17%, mRNABC, it's low float.
Wow. That's Moderna? I'm really... Yeah.
Vlad Stolyarov says vaccine.
I tell you what,
Vlad Stolyarov
I'm constantly
says
surprised. I'm just constantly surprised by so like let's pull this stock up. Okay. Like this stock is already up crazy. It was 100 before, and you would think that it would be, well, I mean, if we go to like the year to date, okay, it was like $30 at the beginning of the year. So you would think, okay, well, they've run up, they must be pricing in a vaccine and everything, right? And then, oh, the vaccine actually comes out and like it's not even like halfway done. Like, what? There's no way that I would have ever imagined that that's how it would go down. Anyways, back to this. So it was basically around the 8th that it kind of started
Frank
coming
Milano
back.
says, how would you recommend to learn NinjaScript? I have very limited coding knowledge from using TradeStation.
Okay, so I have 2 videos on NinjaScript. Well, I have a couple of videos on NinjaScript, but there are 2 in particular. One is the most commonly used functions, and one is using data structures. And basically that's it.
Hash.
Basically that's the gist of it. Is once you understand the main functions that you have to use, and what well, I guess there's another thing that I need to make. I think I need to make a 3rd video, which is like commonly used functions in ninja script that you need to be aware of. The only one that I think that for a beginner is really going to be important, I'll show you here. What indicator should I show you guys on? Well, let's just show you guys on like a simple moving average, probably. It's probably fine. Yeah. The one that's important is you need to know add plot. So add plot basically makes it so that there's a plot data series at the bottom of your chart, right? Like on here, to get one of these down here. Let's go back to another day. If I can go far back enough. Oh, I guess I can't. Anyways, you know, there's an add plot for every one of those. And then when
Frank
you add a
Milano
plot.
says, so ninja script is C#.
Yes, it's C#. And when you add one of these, it will create an array called value array. And there's also another array called the values, which is an array of arrays. So if you add multiple plots, then you can access those multiple plots in the values array. And then often what we'll do is we'll just come into properties and create accessors so that we can reference those values arrays with a proper name. And that is probably the one most important thing that you got to know. And then the rest of it is just do a bunch of math on the data series, like, you know, the close and the open, close, high, low, whatever it is, and put it into the value as your final output, and you're good. Are you going to go short?
Ace Trades says, short 3,656.50.
So now that we got you guys here, well, there's a lot more people here. How many we got watching now? Okay, we're good. So I got to go back and say, so I was running down this account and I wasn't planning on really trading live until next year, until January. And I was hoping that I would be able to move brokers, but I miscalculated how much I needed to pay for the data for this month in this account. And so last night it was like after the markets closed, and then Rhythmic kicked me off, and I'm like, well, that's not right. It's not 4 o'clock my time yet. And yeah, so it was because there wasn't enough in there to go through for another month of data. So I fixed it so that we get another month. But because of that, you know, it takes a day for it to get in there. So today we're just going to be doing research, I guess. So by all means, share the shorts, but I'm not going to I can't follow them today. I don't even know what price the ES really is right now because I don't have the data. So yeah, all my fault. Many mistakes were made. Anyways, so interesting to me that those days that it did bad were relatively range-bound days, which is the opposite of what I would have expected. Now, let's maybe try adding some indicators over here. So let's add ATR and ADX. Well, actually, maybe let's go down into like 5-minute bars now. And we'll get rid of these so that we can see a little bit better. Okay.
Vlad Stolyarov says 3,656 is support.
So we want to go to like what, October 1st?
Ace Trades says now you tell me. Vlad Stolyarov says 3,663.5 channel.
I feel really dumb about it, but like, what am I going to do? I can't like, it's fine. It's fine. Should have known better,
Ace
but
Trades says out with a loss. Vlad Stolyarov says it takes me a while to open platform and look at YMTSLA and AAPL.
Yeah. By the way, over on this one, it's not, let's see here. Why am I not showing extended hours on Apple? Here, can I show extended hours, settings, extended hours? Well, Apple looks like it's up 121.12 in Apple. Tesla is up in the overnight market, but it's not recovering the highs from pre-market yesterday, which I find odd. Okay. Oh, we got Redbook coming out here. That was the problem, Ace. So wait for the Redbook, and then maybe we could do it. Okay, anyways. Oh, is it not going to let me go back that far? Or maybe I need, maybe let's do it on a 30-minute basis. But we need to go back to October. Okay, so here's October 1st. Oh, that's weird. That was a weird day.
Vlad Stolyarov says, by the way, that dip we had yesterday looks a lot like August stuff.
Well, when I came in and I took my trade in the treasury.
Vlad Stolyarov says they've been doing those kind of dips 2 to 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vlad Stolyarov says times in August.
Well, when I took my trade in the treasury, I was totally doing it based on
Vlad
that there would be
Stolyarov
rebalancing.
says before final crash.
I was doing it based on that there would be end of month rebalancing. There had been all this talk that there would be a lot of rebalancing, and there's still going to be a lot of rebalancing because some of these people do it monthly, but there's also yearly things that they have to do and stuff. So there's probably a lot more selling still that has to be done in December. But when I was looking at the action through the holidays, I didn't really see volume. I didn't really see significant movement. And so I wasn't entirely sold on it, that those people had really done their rebalancing. So I was expecting a lot more to come in. But I was also kind of thinking, well, these guys are still bullish, so they're going to sell into them. And I think that's what happened. So there was a ton of selling. And there was a lot of volume on the close. And then after the close, then it was like gangbusters higher. Yeah.
Vlad Stolyarov says call option buying is in full force.
And it's, they do it all on the Monday. They try and add up as much gamma as they can on Monday and then try and run it through into Friday.
Vlad Stolyarov says AAPL. Vlad Stolyarov says breaking from tight range yesterday.
Here's the thing is, oh, hi, Lucas. How are you?
Lucas says, oh, hi, everyone.
I think that what is going to happen is they're eventually, the market maker's going to get sick of it, right? Because it's right now the market maker does that thing. They buy the stock up. I guess they make a lot of money. Probably they make a lot of money just market making the options. And then, the people that buy the options are happy because they make money on the stock going up. And I think at some point, one side, somebody loses, somebody somewhere loses, and that person's going to get sick of it and stop doing it. And then that's not going to work anymore. So it may have taken along. So I don't know how long this options thing can last, but not forever. Not forever. And I do think that in December we should have, some amount of a sell, because there is still a lot of money that kind of has to move. Okay, so it looks like that the ADX needs to be a certain level. So I'm wondering, so let's just do it in this one. We'll just do it in here. ADX, my ADX. What were we running this on, by the way? Second bars. Well, that's a horse of a different color. Well, let's just see what happens. Wait, what? Hold on a second. So the Facebook-backed cryptocurrency has renamed itself to DMDIEM. And the association head now says, we aim to initially launch a single dollar-backed digital coin. Okay. Well, whatever. And how big of a period do you think we need to look at? I think that we need to look at like a 5-minute moving average, right? So if we're doing this on 5-second bars, so maybe a 60 period. Oh, no. We need to do at least 10, so 120. And ADX of 0 is greater than threshold. Oh, my ADX of 0, sorry. Okay. so okay, cool. So let's just run it with, well, what were we using? Reward factor 1, stop 16. Okay. And the look back didn't matter. So let's try running it again and see how many trades it takes out. It'll take it a bit. So I can see that the VIX has come down significantly yesterday, huh? And a little bit of jumping up. But I wonder, will it let me see over in here? Like, search? Yes? No, that's not where I want to look. Where are you located? I live in Utah, Salt Lake City. What is the correct way? Well, it has them down there at the bottom. Interesting that it does show me the VIX pre-market, but not SPX. Oh, did you get your target? No. Given that he's taking a short, I must assume that he didn't. Ah. Oh, that decreased the number of trades that it took significantly. Oh, that's super interesting. Wait, so only a third of those had a threshold above 20 on that ADX? Let's see if it'll let us do that. A 3060 Ti got released today? Oh yeah, good deal. I don't know if I'm... Oops. I'm just not feeling a new video card right now. Maybe in the spring. Part of it is I just haven't been playing any games, you know. Yeah, if you're building a new machine, well, I mean, it depends on what you're doing, right? I still am of the opinion that if you're building a machine for trading, that you can probably get away with a 1650 or 1660. I mean, I have what is equivalent to a 1660 in my machine, and I don't have any problems with graphical rendering or anything, right? So, but if you're building a new machine and you want to play games, and you're future-proofing yourself, I think that a 1660 is probably going to be your best bang for your buck. You can make it with integrated GPU. Yeah, I don't know. Probably you could, but there's so much having an integrated GPU. It causes all sorts of other problems. Plus, you certainly wouldn't be able to do multiple monitors at least. Now, the issue with the integrated GPU or integrated GPU is usually that it shares other system resources. The 1660 Super was a really good deal. Well, if you like it now, I bet you'll love it in March. So here's the thing: is right now everybody is like just clamoring to get these things, right? After a few months, when the supply is caught up to the demand, all these older cards are going to be dirt cheap, right? Okay, so we're back to this one, but I should be able to come in here and look at trades, and it should tell me, okay, cool. So here's the entry name, and I'm going to sort these by profit. A lot of these are under 10. A lot of these are under 10. I don't necessarily see a rhyme or reason to it, though. Yeah. Let's try this. Let's try 1440. And I think it'll be funny to see what happens with those, because I'm gonna bet you that they're even more. How do we say? The 3060 is going to be even more in demand and probably even harder to get your hands on. Especially since everybody's all triggered by the 3080s being gone. Yeah. I have a GTX 970. They're around $100 used now. Oh. Oh, that's even earlier than. I'm trying to remember what I had before this current card. It was an MSI. It was the Twin Frozer one, but I forget which was it, like 660? I don't remember. Move this over here. Okay. Much smaller numbers on those losers. our winners higher? Doesn't look like it. How do I guess I can just export this. Okay, sure. I thought that we would be able to just look at it and see if there was some sort of a thing with it, but apparently not. So I don't know why I opened up 2 for us there, but that's okay. Let's see here. I don't know how to make a distribution histogram in Excel. Excel distribution histogram. Insert a pivot table. Choose count. Do you ever use the Monte Carlo feature? Sometimes. So, like, let's say that we were backtesting like a really simple setup. And first, you know, I do think that running it on actual data is more useful. But then if it does come out to be profitable and it seems like it's a pretty good setup, what I'm going to use the Monte Carlo feature to test is to see, based on random data, what are the chances that it actually comes out profitable? Because, you know, that runs it a bunch of different times. So, and then based on what percentage of those are actually positive will give me a good idea of how good of a strategy it actually is. Because sometimes you will go in and you will do it and it'll come out, well, I don't know. Can we do it on this one? Try it. Generate. Okay, so you can see here, 70% of these are profitable. Just okay. But if I'm honest, I don't find it super useful. Okay, so does it really have to be a pivot table? Okay, insert a pivot table, drag the following fields to the different areas. Amount filled to the rows area. Amount filled to the values area. Okay, so let's try this. We're going to go here. And we're going to say, which page is it on? Oh, there we go. Insert pivot table. Click on any cell inside of this sum of amount. Oh, it actually did it correctly. Value field settings. Count. Okay. Let's try that. And then how do I add more? No. Maybe let's just delete that pivot table. Oh, geez. Okay. Equals round this to the nearest whole number. And then over here, we will insert the pivot table and select the range to be this. Okay. Rows, values. Okay. Cool. Actually, we need to move this over a little bit. Okay. And now we will come back to this sheet and we will now select all of the profitable trades. Control C, Control V. Equals round this number, nearest whole number. Pivot table. Okay. Oops, what am I doing? That and that. Okay. Looks pretty Gaussian to me, doesn't it? Okay. So then, should we make a chart for it? Yeah. Wait, if I go like that and that. Ah. Oh. So it seems that you tend to have the ADX be around 5 to 8 during that period. It seems to drop off higher for profitable trades, though. So that's kind of weird. But I'm not sure if that is just because ADX on 1 minute chart or what. Yeah, see that ADX just moves too much. And if we say 1440, well, that seems more sensical, but still pretty Gaussian. Are you a programmer by profession? Yes. So this is, I'm finding this so frustrating because I have found an area, I have found a trade where I have a pretty good probability on the trade, but it seems like everything about this area is random. Like it is truly a random spot, and I'm not sure what to do with it. Well, now when I ran that back test, I did run it on a 1440 period. Okay. Well, my ATR equals ATR period. Let's see here what we got coming up here. Oh, okay. The open. And then PMIs. Dr. Slough, we hope to have 60 to 70 million doses in January between the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines. So are you going to get, I tell you what, I mean, I don't want to open up like a can of worms here, but how many of you are 100% sure that you're going to get the vaccine in the next 12 months? 100% sure. Because there's a lot more people kind of don't want to get the vaccine than I would have expected. But the vaccine is a lot more interesting. So the other day, somebody came in and they were claiming that it like modifies your DNA, which is not true. But it is kind of doing some crazy stuff that we haven't done before. And I'm kind of, it makes me a little uneasy. Frank says I'm never getting it. I mean, Brandon says no way. See, I'm sure that it would only be the people that were sure that they're not going to that would speak up, right? Like, the thing that's crazy about it is this is a extremely unique new strategy. It's something that they've been trying to do for a while, but like this new style of vaccine is completely different. And then we went through kind of like a rushed trial. So I would think that if it wasn't for this pandemic, that they would require way more information before they would allow a vaccine like this to be widespread. 6 says I'm younger, so I probably wouldn't get it until everyone who's older gets it. I never get a flu shot. I get the flu shot. So the way that this one works is that what they've done is they found the piece of messenger RNA that creates the protein on the outside of the coronavirus. And they inject you with that, and then your body will actually take in the mRNA and start building that protein, apparently. And I don't know how that is. It like a temporary thing? It goes away. mRNA only lasts for so long. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. But basically, your body produces that protein so that it's around, and then your immune system picks up on it. Isn't that crazy? So that's why it's different. And that's why people think that it modifies your DNA, which it doesn't. Although I keep seeing this thing everywhere. Like I keep seeing these conspiracy theory videos where they're like, oh, some guy briefing the CIA saying, okay, here's this gene that we don't like, and we think we can give people a vaccine and it'll go away. And I'm like, nah, I don't think that's the way that it works. Okay. This looks a little bit more hopeful to me, actually, guys. So shall we start another sheet? No, we'll just close this one. Don't save. New month high in Facebook. You know, that some of those tech companies like Facebook and Twitter, that's where I start to get into like the whole value proposition is like, are these really? There's this thing the other day. Kramer was saying, you know, there's all of these other companies, maybe they're not so great after the pandemic, but like Google and Apple will be great forever. And as I don't think they'll be great forever, but I think he has a really good point that, like, I don't think that the rotation to value necessarily has to go the way that some market prognosticators are saying it should. We will have 150 million doses a month by March between all vaccines. Wow. Mm-hmm. Oops. Round let's to the nearest 10th. Expand it down. So maybe not. I think this one might be completely random too. Man. Oh, why am I getting that? Must be from this page right here. Okay. Okay. Oops. There we go. Gosh dang it. There we go. Oh, it is different. That's a little weird, actually. I'm not sure it's different in a way that we can really take advantage of. But it does seem that the ones that work out have a slightly higher ATR. At least on a 1440 period. Interestingly, it's the well, so we can match it up like that, right? The winners, there's actually a significantly higher probability of them being in the lower ATR, 0.5. Okay, well, I don't think the ATR or ADX are it, at least not for this signal. What about number of bars? Oh, that's pretty random too. Look at Moderna. Oh my gosh. Let's take a look at some of these. Well, it looks like Rare Earth Resources is having another okay day. And Sumo Logic isn't doing too bad either. Tesla selling off on the open though. Actually, a lot of things sold off on the open, which is kind of what we were expecting, right? Initial sell-off. You're going to ignore Moderna. Okay. All right, so let's try the next thing, which is going to be oh, I had it on super smoother filter too, huh? So we're gonna add this TGN one. Wait, is it? Yeah, it is in TGN. Okay. Dum 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 dum. Ooh, that's right. This will probably help it a little bit. Silly me. Okay, so here comes the PMI. Looks like it's coming out in line with expectations. I guess I can also add in VWAP. Actually, somebody had suggested something really weird the other day. Let's see if I can get this. Do it on a 1 minute tick replay. Well, that back test is running. Okay. Then I have that's interesting. So I guess I can use my VWAP bands indicator for it. I was thinking that I had written a VWAP that was a little better, but I guess not. And then he was saying, where is it? AMA Z-score? Yeah, AMA Z-score. But the input series should be like that. Ooh, it does do something weird. Oh, very interesting. Oh, very interesting. Oh, and do you get the Z's? Oh, you do. Oh my gosh, guys. That looks very promising. That looks very promising. Oh, yes. We can go back and backtest that later. Let's see what we got over here. Okay. Oh, hey. So it didn't make as much, but it did improve the profit factor substantially. And it never goes negative because of that. Well, that's not bad. Let's go into my... Oh, wait, I have a VWAP indicator one, too. Oh, that's weird. Hmm. Okay, I think the dead indicator is acceptable. I think that's acceptable. So I'm just checking it to make sure that there's not like severe memory usage issues or calculation issues that would make it a problem to use. Okay, VWAP bands. Okay. So I think, well, actually, this is a hard one. I think that we want to do it if you're below the VWAP, but, well, we'll just try it. If my VWAP 0 is greater than close of 0, in this case, my VWAP of 0 is less than close of 0. Okay, cool. So now we should note, though, that when we limited what it would take based on the day, that significantly reduced the number of trades. And now I'm going to reduce it even further. This might be too much. I think what I'll do is I'll go back and maybe we need to go and parameterize it. Oh, that should be good. I'm not seeing it hit Twitter here. Where? Hearing something about stimulus talks. Let's see here. Well, he's not saying anything about it. Oh, NBC's Hake tweets, for the first time since October, U.S. Treasury Secretary Mnuchin says he will speak to House Speaker Rep. Pelosi about COVID relief today. Who is this guy? Is it Garrett Hake? NBC News correspondent. Okay. Seems like it's taking longer now that there's the VWAP calculation on it, but Stickball says viruses modify your DNA. I don't. They can, can't they? But I think it's a little bit more complicated than that. Like, I don't think it's just like you input mRNA into the cell and then that becomes a part of your DNA. I don't think it works like that. In fact, my understanding is that mRNA is quite fragile and that it can only be used when you're when it's transcribing the protein, and then that's why the DNA structure is more stable, essentially. Well, how long do you think this one is going to take? I'll start a timer right now. I'm going to take what I've got here in VWAP bounds and try and put it into this indicator, but just like get rid of the extra data series. That might help. That might help. And we don't need the period. We don't need this. Calculate on min max bits. So what is it about that makes it take forever? What do you think? Well, let's look at the task manager. By the way, we haven't skipped any frames from doing this, so that's cool. Yeah, adding the VWAP in for some reason makes it take forever. Okay, so here comes the numbers. I can see ISM 57 spot 5 versus an expected 58, so slightly less than expected. Apple's doing pretty good today. Oh, it looks like the banks are doing really well today too, by the way. So like Goldman's at 231 now, almost 232. I guess we're getting some more of that, what do you say, value rotation. Still going. It could be something else. One thing is the session iterator isn't the session iterator might be what it is, because my other indicator doesn't have a session iterator in it. Does this one doesn't have a session iterator in it? No, it doesn't. No, it does. It does have a session iterator. I don't know if I even use it, but oh no, I do use it. Yeah, okay. So I don't know why, so that doesn't explain it. Maybe it's just running the standard deviation calculation or something. I don't know. Well, let's come back over to here and we'll switch it. So it should do that, and okay. So that could improve it. Kind of thinking though that this backtest that's running is dead. Let's see if Ninja will let me close here and restart. Because this has been going now for 7 minutes since I started timing it, so it might just be crashed. That's not going to significantly decrease CPU activity? Huh. What's using it? Oh. Wait, Brave is using 10%? Is it that? Yeah, what's that? Was Trading View. Huh. Oh, and this we can... Yeah, that helps a lot too. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay. I'm just going to rebuild this again really quick, make sure that it's all set up correctly. You know what, we don't need to do this bit right here. In fact, since we're not using this, we're not using this, we're not using this. Okay. Now we will run it. I wish that when you run a back test that it, because if you're running like the like an optimization back test, then it will tell you how long it's been going and what the estimated completion is and everything. But when it's just a single back test, it doesn't show you that, which is really annoying. Sounds like that a new COVID-19 relief bill may be on the way, but that it will not include direct payments. Ribbons and sparklers, what? Aha. So, even less trades actually increased the win rate a little bit. Oh, that's interesting. It only filtered out a few trades. Really? 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 Super interesting, guys. Super interesting. That's still 2 trades per day. It's not bad. But it's a less profit factor. Now, if we trade with the VWAP, this might actually improve it a little bit. I'm wondering, though, if the VWAP is just a better filter than the daily signal, and I should just use that. Which is kind of weird. That's not what I would expect to happen. In fact, I would expect that if I do this change that I've made, that it probably won't take very many trades. Well, we'll see. I would expect it to be less trades than 86. Do you have a stock that you recommend? No, I don't. I don't give stock recommendations. I have a portfolio of my own. Yep, see, only 20 trades. Whoa, 1.87 profit factor though. What? Well, I don't know if that is reliable though. Okay, well, let's try this. Let's try we do this and we do this. Yeah, so I have my own portfolio and I have a few stocks and it's not a very big one. And if you stick around a while, then you might have an idea of what I have. But I'm not a fan of giving stock recommendations. I think the whole game that goes on out there where everybody's chasing tips and so forth is just kind of it's not a good thing. And I don't want to be involved in that. And so, yeah. I have stocks, but we don't give stock recommendations. And when we're trading, I'm not trading today. We're trading, like the S&P 500 and treasuries and big things. And it's focused primarily on like short-term action. And so I'm not really promoting any one stock. We could do some investigation if you want, but Sugar Daddy says hi. I'm surprised that YouTube lets you use that name. That's really interesting. I do think that the daily signal was a better signal overall, but never tested the opposite of the daily signal either, which is... See, the issue with that particular filter on the VWAP is it filters out too many traits. This one should be, that I'm going to do here, should make it worse, but I want to see how many traits it ends up taking. I am turning into a sugar daddy. My wife doesn't have a job and she likes shopping for fashionable clothes or my lifestyle. Well, so what you're saying is you need to be a sugar daddy, but that you don't actually have the money, right? What time does Pal finish talking? I don't know. Oh yeah, see, look, that did poorly. So it is trading against the VWAP, but look, that one, look at how many more trades that one took. So that's super curious. This one right here, that might be viable. I mean, how many trades did it take per day? So it only takes one trade every other day. And I'd have to go back and run it again to do the analysis on that, but let's do this really quick. Confirm for ourselves here that when we run it with the no, we should reset this. You are a broke sugar daddy. Yeah, that's a problem. Well, I'll tell you what, if you're a broke sugar daddy, probably day trading is not for you. Day trading is for people that have too much money and too much time on their hands and don't know what to do with it all. If you're looking to be a sugar daddy, probably I would go into real estate. Yeah, go into real estate. Okay, so that confirms my suspicions on that one. Look at that. Oh, it just took some really bad ones at the beginning, though. Now, I think we could try doing something a little bit like with the bands, like instead of saying it has to be above or below the VWAP, we could say it has to be above this band or below this band. And that might give us slightly more trades. But it's really interesting to me. So what's happening here? If I can duplicate it on this chart for you guys here. Let's see here. First of all, let me remove that one. Add the less expensive one that I just made. Okay. And same with the z-score here. We'll do it here. Z-score. Do it on VWAP indicator session. Yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to add my indicator. Let it reset on session. Okay. Okay, so that's so interesting. Okay, we get this situation where is that the one? Yeah, that was 1.871. Okay. So it is saying what this is trying to do is it's trying to, well, and it wouldn't be working very well today, by the way. Well, not on this day. Yesterday, I guess, wouldn't have worked very well. But it's trying to say, take this trade right here. If it comes up to here, try and take it from there to there. But it's saying only do it if we're above the VWAP. So like this, my inventory cost basis, the seller's line has to be above the VWAP, which, well, so like right here, for instance, which is an unusual situation, but it might be a true inefficiency. And it's also the daily filter is kind of interesting, but oh, you know, I didn't test it like, what's this one? Will this substantially increase the number of trades that we get? Before we do it though, let's see, it's just not a big enough data set. I could run it on a much larger data set though, I think. Oh, wow. So only had a few that really actually went against it. This is extremely efficient. Oh, this is getting a little weird to me. Okay, there are some drawdowns, but this is where we need to take it by trades. And then yeah. At least during this time period. I don't know if it will, it's only like a month's worth of data, but, and it might be curve fitted a little bit. Well, let's run this again. We might have something. We might finally have something that I really truly want to run. I'm a little concerned by the number of trades that it takes, but I don't like that when we do this, that the Sharpe ratio decreases so much. This one was probably the best Sharpe ratio. That's a 0.93. That's really good. Okay. That's interesting, though, that, well, you make more money because you take a lot more trades. It actually doesn't decrease the percent profitable that much. So let's try a couple of other things here. Let's get rid of that one. And let's try... So the other thing that kind of weirds me out about it is that it's not a complicated setup. Like, it's not like I have like 5 indicators and I'm just looking at the cross of my line and the VWAP and whether we're increasing or decreasing on the day. Now I'm going to try whether we're increasing or decreasing on the hour. I don't think that this will perform as well. So now that I'm changing it in this manner, I really should just set it up to do an optimization run, but so let's say okay. I'm kind of hoping that the hourly signal might be it might be an okay filter, maybe not as high win rate of a filter as the daily signal, but that still gives me a good like it still increases my win rate without reducing the number of trades too much. Well, I guess we'll just see how it goes, but Okay. So that actually did almost exactly what I wanted it to do. It actually decreased some of my losers. That's crazy. This one was daily. This one, I delete that. Now we'll try fading the hour. Let's see how bad that turns out. The Holy Grail is not Holy Grail. I do think I found an inefficiency though. And I do think that we're learning something a little bit about how time frame can affect your strategy. I mean, I've found I already knew from some of my other indicators that whether we were positive on the day or the hour or what have you could be a pretty effective filter. But now I'm kind of finding out things about how it can potentially affect the number of trades that you take. Let's see here. John Grady's linking a prop trading program. We're hiring. We are hiring experienced futures traders who want to achieve greater performance results. While we offer competitive rates and profit share, our focus is on developing experienced traders to higher level of performance. Yada, 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 yada. Trading environment isn't for everybody. But where are they? I bet you they're in Australia or Europe, because that's always the case. Yep, Ireland. Oh, okay. This other one still it takes less trades and makes significantly more. and has significantly smaller drawdown. Yeah. You still get this downturn period in here, so. So definitely this one. Now let's look at it for weekly signals. Did ZN take a dump today? I'm not surprised because yesterday there was definitely something to like, okay, I came in and it seemed like they needed to buy it and they bought it up. But then like it kind of started to turn into where people thought that maybe it was really going to go. And there was a decent amount of volume there, but in the end, there was other people going the other way and it kind of fell back down. And then later in the day, like it really, really fell back down, right? So I think that this rates are going to have to rise trade because we're getting inflation. At least that's what the stock market thinks is happening. That is still a thing. And so with the end of month buyers out of the picture, those guys take over again, right? Oh, really? Weekly really reduces the number of trades that you take. Especially on the long side. Oh, because those days, those weeks would open up at the high. Okay, so I don't know if weekly signal is a very good one or not. So I'm just going to take it out for now. We're going to go back to our hourly signal. This is the setup that makes the most sense. And let's see if it will let us backtest the whole year. Run. Now, hopefully it doesn't think that it needs to pull data. I've run this since then on a full year's worth of data before, so I think we should be okay. But let's see. Let's see. Positive careers and advice. And they have a pretty solid blog too. We are hiring for our intern class in Zagreb, Croatia. Oh, so they have an office in Croatia and Dublin. Well, if any of you guys live in that area, maybe that would be worth looking into for you. Think it's gonna run? Oh, we should start the timer. I mean, I don't want to get my hopes up, but I'm kind of feeling good about this one. I think that discrepancy between the VWAP and my cost basis seems to matter. Tells us something. Maybe what I should do is I should make an indicate. I should add something. I should add it into my thing. And then there should be just the VWAP line. And then there should be a score of, where it is. If it's in between the two of them, I guess you just say that it's a 0. But then if it's above or below them, then you start giving it a score based on how many points beyond it is. Something like that. Although it's a kind of a weird situation. I'm not 100% sure how it happens. It seems to me that it's something that shouldn't happen. Well, I guess it does happen, though. It happens 10% of the time that there's a cross. It's kind of weird. The more I think about this, the more interesting it becomes to me. I keep hearing one of you guys saying the Holy Grail. I hate that term. Can I pontificate about Holy Grails for a second? There's no such thing as a Holy Grail. Why? Because the market changes. The market is dynamic. There are inefficiencies in the market, and you might exploit an inefficiency in a market, and then things can change. That inefficiency may just stop being pertinent. That inefficiency may just be eliminated by enough people trading it, right? There could be just volatility that, overcomes the inefficiency that you are taking advantage of. All these things, right? So a Holy Grail cannot exist. You have something that I guess you could call your Holy Grail that could be that way for a long time, but then it could stop being a Holy Grail. The Holy Grail is focus, discipline, and hard work. No, I don't think that you should be searching for the Holy Grail. I think that what you should be looking for is nirvana. Trading nirvana. A state wherein you are in harmony with the market, which requires an understanding of what the market is doing, an understanding of yourself and your trading strategy and how you should trade it, and so on and so forth. So you smell what I'm stepping in? I do own a golden goose that lays eggs. Well, a golden goose, I think that's maybe a different analogy. I can totally get that. A golden goose is totally. Let's say if you find a strategy that an inefficiency that works for a certain amount of time, we could call it a golden goose. We have to realize that golden gooses can get tired. They can become old and die. They can be stolen. They can, right? Golden goose. That's perfect. Oh man, the other day somebody, what was the analogy that somebody gave the other day? I can't remember what it was. They were basically saying that when the markets are all going up, that it's pretty much everybody makes money. essentially is what they were trying to say. And yeah. It was such a funny... I wish I could remember what it was now. It was kind of along the lines of like a rising tide floats all boats, but it was kind of saying that even if you're a complete idiot, that you would make money. I wish I could remember what it was. Well, we should expect this to take a long time, but I don't think that it should take more than, like, say 20 minutes. It's been 6 minutes so far. But this is where, again, I'm like, I hope it's not trying to download data. I wish that it would tell you. I wish that the strategy analyzer told you more about the data set. Like if it's trying to download a data set, it will tell you, and then it will tell you how big the data set is, and you know what I mean? Some ideas for you, Ninja Trader, if you're listening. In the medium term, there is upside risk, says Powell. Oh, really? Algos for trading are very popular monthly fees for use. Do you know of any of them that are on futures and actually have a positive track record, though? This is kind of funny that I started out, I was like, there's all these things that we can do, and we can do this programming stuff. And then I just got back into the last strategy that I was working on, and then just started diving into that instead of doing all the other stuff that we were going to do. I'll go Lux, nah. Okay, but track record, stats. This is the thing that drives me crazy. It's like, if they work, you would think that they would have stats. And then if they would have stats and they're selling it, then you would think that everybody and their dog would be trying to use it. And if everybody and their dog was trying to use it, then it probably wouldn't work anymore, you know? Well, if it's going to be like this, and this actually ends up being good, we might have to move over to Ninja Trader so that we can use the automated Ninja Trader trading. But we definitely have to run it live a little bit and make sure that it gets good entries on live. The market year. What if bonds are quote unquote wrong? The US 10-year is putting in the biggest up candle since the Pfizer vaccine day. Wait, it is? I thought you guys said that it was down. Oh, well, let's go to TradingView and look. You guys. Okay, so that came out negative, unfortunately. Well, that might not necessarily be the end of the world. We have to look into it a little bit. New pane. That's what we need. Oh, they changed it. That's cool. Okay. Okay. So they're looking at yield here. That's why. Okay. 10-year yield is putting in the biggest up candle since the Pfizer vaccine day. Bonds have been very slow in digesting recent vaccine bull. Who knows? Maybe equities and other markets lead bond people this time around. Move index remains rather depressed. Watch the space carefully as things could reignite to the upside here. Yeah, that might be. I don't think that there's that much activity over in the bonds, and so I don't think that. I think that that might be a thing that there might be a lot of, they're following. Stats are go, but just trading 6. Okay, so now what the hell? Did I break something? I did. Damn it. I was using weekly signals. Because I went when like, where's the time period that we had? So how long did that take? That took about 12 minutes. Okay, that's not bad. I tell you why, it just drives me nuts that people don't. If you want to know like why do the majority of traders fail? Well, probably one of the big things that I see out there is that people don't keep track of what they're doing. They don't have a record of all of their trading. They can't go back and say, how did I perform during this time and when I was trying this method and this method. I've probably, it would take me a little bit of effort to kind of go back through and determine what I was doing at what time. But I definitely know what all live and simulated trades that I've ever taken, and I can analyze them, and I try to run my strategies through backtesting, and nobody does this. It's like you go to the subreddit and people are like, oh yeah, price action is super great. And it's like, okay, so show us the stats on it. They don't have it. Absolutely write down every trade in a spreadsheet. Number one thing to do. Yeah. Well, or have software. I mean, like NinjaTrader tells you, it keeps track of this stuff. It'll also help you make less trades. That might be the case. See what happened was this was the strategy where it didn't work very well. And then I ran the one that didn't work very well in the larger time frame. I didn't do the one that did work well. Just printing off Ninja report just gets filed, yeah. Or you can do the Ninja report and you can save those to Excel spreadsheets and do even more investigation like we did today, right? So I just don't, there's just like no excuse. But people, all of the people out there that are like promoting stuff, they don't even do this, like most basic stuff. This guy is trained in neural network to predict stock returns. Good for you. Micron Technology raises first quarter guidance. Yeah. Jake Sherman on Trump's legal challenges to the election. The batting average isn't very good based on what we're seeing right now. I think that trajectory is pretty clear. Yeah. I know that you guys, I don't want to disappoint any of you, but Kanye West isn't going to be president. Sorry. $24 question mark? What? It's like all the sad face. I know, I don't want to crush you all. Oh man, you know what's kind of interesting, disappointing, frankly, is that the election is all over or not. There was like lots of people that were like on TikTok in particular, talking a lot about politics. And it was like nobody wants to talk about politics anymore, and like all of those creators, it's just like they died out. The second one is the sad but relieved face. I was oh right, because one has a tear coming off of its eye, and the other one has it's a sweat mark on the side. Well, it's funny, guys. I'm reading an article about Mr. Atlas leaving now. From the Post, he fought fiercely with Birx and to a lesser extent with Fauci, as well as Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Director Robert Redfield, former White House senior counselor Kellyanne Conway, and several other aides, according to another senior administration official. It was the worst thing to happen to Trump in 2020 from a personnel perspective, said a former senior administration official who regularly sparred with Atlas, who also spoke on condition of anonymity. Oh, well, so obviously people that didn't like him, but Alice certainly makes for a high-profile scapegoat for a Trump loss, especially for Trump itself. You know, the thing that I find the most frustrating about the election is that he straight up lost because of his attitude towards coronavirus. It was 100% that, in my opinion, that it wasn't like like the way that the Democrats try and make it seem like he didn't take it seriously enough and too many people died, and so that was a bad response. No, I actually think that the government's overall response was not bad. Was really not bad. Aside from the thing that really screwed us over was the not having the testing really in place beforehand, right? But everything that they did after that, but after the president had to get involved, I think was generally overall pretty good. And I don't think that any other leader would have really done much different. And you can look around the world and you can see how other leaders have tried to respond. And every nation has had problems, right? Well, Donald Trump had an attitude, though. His attitude was like, this should be done and over with. And seniors in particular didn't like that. And so I was seeing it. And the thing is that I think that he was just like, I think that he goes on to Donald and wherever else and reads what people are saying and says, well, I believe this and they agree with me. The right people agree with me. So I'm just going to plow ahead with this. And so we plowed ahead with the coronavirus is, fake. We should ignore it, sort of a thing. And that's why he lost the election. It's kind of like frustrating. And then you think about the Atlas thing and you have to wonder, okay, how much might he have played into that? Because it really seemed to me like once Scott Atlas got in that Donald Trump was pretty unengaged. Holy shit. Hot damn. Okay, so there is some bad days in late March, April, which is about when we bottomed out, and I would expect that might not necessarily do amazing, but it did make a profit. That's good shit. Now that we have like a larger data series, now we can kind of gather some more. Okay, so it actually did better on the short trades, really. Well, now that kind of makes me doubt the efficacy of using the hourly signal. Let's see here. This one was the hourly signal, wasn't it? The one that we got over to. And this one was the daily signal. But it is a pretty good win rate. And look at, so let's see here. There's only a streaks of 5. That's pretty good. There was one that was pretty bad, max time to recover. Interestingly, though, when we were running this just on that one time frame, the Sharpe ratio was pretty good, and now it's not as great. When was the... Oh, yeah, that was the one where I was like, I don't think that's even applies. This one right here. That one was a daily, right? 1.22. No, that was just with the VWAP. No. I don't even remember what that one was now. because I wasn't labeling them back then. Okay, well, let's try it with the daily signal. This one I should save, even though I don't remember what it was about. Scott Bio escaping Los Angeles to Utah. Good move. Who's that? Scott Vincent James Bio is an American actor known for his role as Chachi Arcola on the sitcom Happy Days. The Charles in Charge actor, huh? Well, so he's probably moving to Park City. And yeah, I bet you probably will be pretty happy up there. It's nice up there. It's nice up there, and then people are really happy in Park City, I think. Had a lot of coworkers when I worked at Goldman Sachs, like the bigwigs over there. So you gotta understand, those guys, like, they would work in New York, and then they said, okay, we want to start this thing over here in Salt Lake City, so we want you to move over to Salt Lake City. And how do you get somebody to move from like London or New York to Salt Lake City, right? It's kind of hard, but you get, it's cheaper. So what do? They all went and bought huge houses in Park City, and they seem pretty happy about it. Even like they just get a Jeep to drive the snow. Of course, now everybody just works from home, right? It's so interesting to me. I'm looking at this VWAP Z-score, and I can't figure out how it's doing some of this stuff. And I guess it just moving, if they move down big, and just even that little move down in the VWAP ends up moving the VWAP a lot. Oh, you know what? Here's what we need to do. We need to come in. Indicators. Lizard indicators. Z-score. And this time, make the input be inventory cost basis long. And then same again. Inventory cost basis short. Never watched Happy Days before? Yeah, that's way before my time, man. Well, when I do the Z-score on my indicators, I don't know. It does. They do kind of coincide. I don't know if there's ever going to be one where one would do it and the other one wouldn't. There might be some situations where one does it and the other one doesn't. So like, here's a good example of where it's actually, oh, and you could do it. You could just do it on based on are we above or below. That's also something that we can test. I don't know. I've got a lot of stuff to dive into here with some order flow setups because I don't know, guys. I'm gonna leave that up there. You can look at it, but that is very curious to me. All right, be right back. I'll take a break here. It's got to be a slow news day if Scott Baio is moving news in it. That's not too bad. But Powell is speaking right now, so we got that going on. Brannigan Barrett says the Bund is fast approaching key levels. The ECB has no choice but to fuel these inflation expectations higher, which makes me believe the break in bond yields comes over ECB on 10th of December. I don't know. Thinking back on that, remember we were talking a little bit earlier. There's not as much trade opportunity in the treasuries. There has been lately, but through a large portion of the year, the treasuries just weren't moving, and I think that a lot of the speculators moved. Is the treasury following other things? I don't think that. I think that it's just following the guidance that the Federal Reserve is giving, right? But I think that that's the conundrum, is that the Federal Reserve is pumping the market, and then it's going to move the interest rates, and then the interest rates are going to become a problem, and then they're going to have to step in and do something about it again, right? Like, they've got this quadrilateral here. They're kind of moving it around and it's going too far one direction and they can't get it to balance out. What the heck is now they're talking about tunnels over here? I don't know what that's about. Oh, now that's interesting. Wait, how did that... Oh, okay. So that took 145 trades. Just make a note, that was daily. What's your favorite place to ski? Well, I haven't been to every resort, so I'm probably the wrong person to ask. I always went to Snow Basin. I've been to the Park City Resort, but I wasn't like hyper impressed with it, but I didn't get to see a whole lot of that resort. Actually says that it has a negative Sharpe ratio, huh? That's curious. Well, where does it come from? Yeah. So that's not even necessarily awful either. It does seem like that going off of the hourly signal is better, though. That also, hourly signal took a lot more trades, too. Well, lastly, if we just look at it with the VWAP by itself. Pin these. It seems like, at least in this instance, that when it crosses the middle line here. Oh, but it is like, where is price compared to the VWAP, isn't it, huh? Something to that extent. And so when we get over here, and then it dips, and then it comes back up. It's a little delayed. So it's a little slow. So for those kind of seems significant to me. Now that one's interesting because that one continues. This is overnight. Oh, that's probably like not the most effective. And data series. There we go. Oh. Here's more of the kind of an area that we'd want to look at. There you go. Where would we actually want to take trades on this day? What day was this? The 28th. Yeah. That's probably not a terribly useful day either. Wait, how is that the 28th? Ninth is Sunday. Yeah, we'd have to go back even further. How far back will this go? Okay. So what day was this? 17th. Last Tuesday, sure. Last Tuesday would be fine. Not really bottoming on this one, though. So there you get a situation where all three of them do. You get a situation where all three of them... Now that one's really interesting, huh? So that looks like that seller's puked on that one. Who would call me at this time? It's probably the doctor's office. Hold on. No, they hung up. Well, it's almost time to quit, so we're going to let this one finish, and then it'll probably be time to go. And then hopefully tomorrow I'll have all of my account issues sorted out. It might be another day, but we can handle doing another day like this, because we learned about that. Learned a lot about it. I don't follow Twitter well enough. So, oh, John, just the person I wanted to speak with. No, we're not looking for. We already talked about this. Holy Grails don't exist. There are golden gooses, though. So yeah, we're trying to build a golden goose. This one actually is looking not too bad. Really, this one started out with just trying a couple of different strategies with my bands, crosses of the lines on my bands, and with pretty simple setups. So I've just been testing it crosses the band, we're above or below the VWAP, and we're positive or negative on the hour. And those are the only 3 qualifications that have been putting on it, and it's pretty good. This last one right here, the profit factor of 1.14. It did poorly during the March, craziness. Just like I think that you would almost have to expect everything to do. But other than that, did pretty good. We might, the funny thing is that I wanted to come in here and try backtesting off of doing filters about like what is the ATR and things like that. I tried some filters on ADX on it, and they were just random. They didn't do anything. So these binary filters seem to be working a little bit better, but I'm only backtesting it on any year's worth of data. I think that if one of these is good, well, this one right here, this one we could try backtesting it on a different. Okay, so this one I tried it without any filters and just the 2 in VWAP, and it's not terrible. I find it interesting that it seems to do better on the short trades. Okay, so that one did pretty poorly during the summer. Now, that's actually not bad, because here's the thing. It is kind of like a range bound strategy of sorts. Let's see here. Do I have... When was I testing this earlier? Oh, then now that's interesting. On the overall thing, it does a little bit worse with the VWAP filter on. Oh, this is VWAP only. Let's try that. I know I said that was the last one, but one more. In the meantime, I can start this. It does sound like they're going to be talking fiscal stimulus again, but I don't know if the Republicans are actually going to play. Anyways, I don't know if you're still there, John, but here's what I wanted to show you. What I was saying. Oh, just who I wanted to see. Look at that. So that is, I'm doing Z-score on VWAP. And I think you get some kind of interesting results from that. Was that red-green area graph of the ZN? Oh, no, this is the E-mini. You're talking about this one where there's like, it goes in, when it passes it, it starts coloring it. Which is kind of cool, by the way, isn't it? You know, there's a modified Z-score, isn't there? Something that's weird about lizard indicators is that it doesn't, there's not like a single login. Yes, a Z-score on VWAP and your inventory cost basis indicators, exactly. That's not what the thing that we're backtesting is based off of. But somebody had mentioned it to me the other day. He had it up in the lower part of the screen. I don't remember. I'm not sure what you're talking about now, Lewis. The only thing I had up in the lower section is that thing. I don't know. So this was me trying to figure out the ADX and ADR, but like when I looked at it, we even went into, like I went as far as every time that you took an entry, print out what the ADX or the ATR was, and then doing a distribution histogram on it, and it was just random. Lewis, it was showing profitable green or losing red. Oh, maybe you were just talking about the strategy analyzer bit. So these back tests that I've been running have all been on the E-mini. Yeah. So I was thinking, let's see here. There is... I just go to all indicators. I forget which type it is. Z-score. There's like a Z-score and there's a Z-score modified. Also, I don't think I ever installed the super trends. So somebody the other day, I saw one that was like, oh yeah, super trend is a great indicator to test. And I was looking at his chart and I'm like, no, this is a terrible strategy. But I've never actually run it. So what's the difference between Z-score and modified Z-score? The standard Z-score will show you how far removed a data point is from the mean, measured in standard deviations. The modified Z-score applies the median, and the standard deviations has been replaced by the mean absolute deviation. Okay. But I don't know if that will actually be useful, but be worth trying at least. Super trend. Oh, this is like an MAE, MFE kind of indicator. So it is a little bit like an ATR stop, isn't it? Yeah. The stop and reverse indicator. We'll do the U11 one. I'll download both of these. Lizard Indicator says, you've downloaded 9 protected files in the last year. You're entitled to unlimited downloads, though, so no worries. I didn't know that it did that. That's funny. Well, gee, Liz, if you just had one that gave me everything, is there one that gives you everything and I'm just not seeing it? Just saying, bro. Just saying, bro. I should go to all indicators and it should be like, download everything. And I'm like, yes. It's not there. Home. Seth, is it possible using NinjaScript to have only, say, a 610 tick chart open and have on that chart maybe a color label to show if a 30-minute chart is trending? Okay, so the way that I would do that is I would create a chart with multiple data series on it, and then use the I would have the tick chart as the primary one, and then you'd have like your 30-minute chart behind that, and then just set your 30-minute chart to be like a box chart and make all of the colors on it invisible or transparent, so that the 30-minute chart doesn't actually show up. Or conversely, you could use my multiple time frame indicator to just show both of them. And then you could see the 30-minute bars behind that, and you could see if the 30-minute bar was positive or negative. But then after that, you could then add any kind of indicator that you wanted onto the 30-minute charts to, and you could show those indicators and not have those parts be transparent. Does that make sense, Frank? Best to use the market analyzer to show your trending 30-minute chart conditions. That might be a good way to do it too. John's recommendation. Yeah. He's saying to use, and I haven't really used it because I don't use the bridge anymore. Although maybe I might want to go back to that. I don't know. He's talking about using this thing, adding a bunch of different instruments on here, and then you could see if they're all trending or whatnot. Maybe I should go back to using that though. So I've been using Rhythmic, and there's a data fee for Rhythmic. Now they just changed the data fee. It used to be $20 a month. Now it's $25 a month, but the fee for taking trades is less. So I think that they're having an issue where people aren't trading, frankly. And that might be why they changed it. But that's why I didn't trade today, because I forgot. I mean, it wasn't like I knew that was a thing when I started doing it, but I forgot about it. And so I miscalculated how much I needed in there on December, because I wasn't planning on doing anything more until January. But then that happened, and I realized it yesterday, and so I went and wired more what I had been saving up that I was going to put in January. I'm just mad about it because I wanted to maybe switch brokers. I mean, like, if it keeps going like this, some of these back tests are okay. I could try running that automated. I'd have to be on NinjaTrader though. Although I think that if I got an automated strategy that was really good, and the issue I think I have here is like this one. So like here, this is great. These results are great. 2.22. Oh, did we just finish? Yes. Okay. So that one is also negative, much more negative. Oh, it takes a lot more trades too. Yeah, that's what I expected. So it seems to be the case that hourly signal is what I want. I could try putting daily signal on it too, but anyways, so here's the one that was the best. Fortunately, it won't show me that analysis bit. Oh, come on. Oh, it's generating the report. Maybe it will let me see that analysis bit. And don't bother trying to build this 610 tick chart with a 30-minute data. Oh, yeah. You could do that if you wanted some sort of you wanted to see some sort of indicator or something. I'm guessing that he probably has some extra conditions, but I don't know. This one is okay. I think that it based on the way that it ran this year, it's not bad. I think that we need to go and run it like on last year. How did it run last year? And hopefully that will be a little bit better. Because I would like to see a profit factor of over 1.5, generally speaking. If I can, but maybe the answer is if the daily ATR or the VIX gets too high, then the bot turns off or something like that, right? If I can get it to that point, then, it would be worth trading in my own account or maybe even on a combine. And then if I did a NinjaTrader, I guess I could go and do the kinetic data. That would be cheaper. Because otherwise it's like $55 a month for data for me. Which, I mean, we can afford, but it's kind of annoying. And of course, I want to get to the point where I want to be using the Rhythmic API. So that would be $150 a month for me. Which is why we need to do some work on the indicators. I wrote some documentation. So if you guys could take a look for me, those of you that are still left, it's time for me to get going. But if you go to speculatorseth.com, you can download my indicators, and I have a free trial set up. So it'll work for you. Install it into NinjaTrader, and then it works for 2 months, and then 2 weeks, and then after that, it will start asking you for to subscribe to the channel. But then on that page, there's also, here's the page, detailed documentation, where it explains what all of the plots are supposed to be, all of the settings, and gives you a couple of examples of what it looks like and some good setups and stuff. I don't have it for all of them, but you can see how it works. So give a look at that. Come back, tell me if you think it's good. But yeah, it's time for me to get going. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have data tomorrow. In the meantime, stay profitable, friends.